We're going to start with the block between the ankles for Virasana. As you place it between the ankles, heels just to the outsides of the hips, sit back on the block with a tall spine. If you don't need the block, you can just sit back in between the ankles with the sit bones on the floor. Hands rest in the lap, close the eyes, and just take a moment here to feel. Settling into the body, to this time and space. And becoming aware for the first time this morning of your breath and the flow of breath. And so keeping your attention right at the tip of the nose, begin to watch where the air meets the skin. And then as it travels in through the nasal passages, see the breath meeting at the third eye, the space between the eyebrows, and then descending all the way down to the base of the spine. On the exhalation then, see and feel the breath come from the base of the spine, all the way back up through that central channel to the area of the third eye, and then back out through the nostrils where you feel the breath at the tip of the nose. Now you may notice as you're observing that as the air comes in, there's a cool sensation. And it makes its way to the third eye, then to the base of the spine. And then as it comes back up, it's coming from the base to the third eye, out the nostrils as a warm breath. And through the power of my mind, I like to think of that cool breath as the bringing in of fresh, pure oxygen and prana, feeding every cell, and then the exhale as releasing anything that doesn't serve. So any toxins or heaviness, density that needs to be released from the cells, leaving the body from the breath. Good, one more here. Now on your next inhale, as the breath comes in and moves down to the base of the spine, just bring in a soft pause. You don't have to hold with strain or anything like that, just a little bit of gentle pausing of the consciousness and the movement of air. And then on the exhalation, breath coming back up and out. And at the bottom of the exhalation, just a gentle pause, stopping the fluctuations of the mind. Again, inhaling in and down. No strain, no stress as you pause. And exhale up and out. Gentle pause. Now you're still tracing the breath with the mind. So as you inhale in and down, get the feeling that the spine is getting taller. And then as you exhale up and out and pull the abdomen towards the back body, feel the shoulders descend away from the ears and getting even taller still. You may sense some of the curves of the spine beginning to reduce. Spine getting taller, longer. So that little pause at the top and bottom of the breath is not a natural pattern for many of us. And so during that pause, we just create a very subtle disruption in the constant stream of thought. And it's during that pause or during that disruption that we have an opportunity for greater awareness to come forward. And the awareness that we gain through these unique experiences helps to expand our consciousness, expand our awareness of the world around us, and change our perspective. So we're going to be working today with inverting the body. And we'll have many options to make sure that it's accessible to all. So one more breath here. And then on the exhalation, bring the hands together in front of the heart. Let the thumbs touch the sternum, bow the head to the hands. And we'll set that as the intention for the practice today, to work with inverting the body and to enjoy the opportunity to change perspectives or to see things from a different point of view. There's a term in yoga called Pratyapakshabhavana. In Ayurveda, we refer to it as cultivating the opposite. But with regard to the mind or our behavior in the world, Pratyapakshabhavana also relates to putting yourself in somebody else's shoes and trying to see things from their perspective or changing your own. So if there's anything in your life right now that's causing you to perhaps want to venture into that place of a willingness to see things from other people's perspective, then bring that into the intention now. And surround this intention with love. We'll begin with the chant of Om 3 times. Deep inhale in all the way to the base of the spine. And then empty completely. So the more breath you get out, the deeper the next inhale will be. Another inhale in. Just lower your chin to your chest. And gradually open your eyes and come back into the room. So we'll release the block from our ankles and come into tabletop position and just stretch out the legs for a moment. So extend one leg back, tuck the toes, reach through the heel of the foot. You want to pulse a little bit there, that's great. And then switch and extend the other leg back and pulse a little bit there. And then you can go back and forth a couple times just to bring some blood flow into the back of the legs. Good. And then inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift here in tabletop position. And then exhale, draw the navel to the spine, round the back, take the sit bones to the heels, child's pose, Chakravarkrasana. Repeating that again. Inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift as you extend through the front body. As you move back, navel to spine, tailbone in, have a little bend in your elbow and pull them towards the midline as you go down to help widen your upper back. Again, inhale. Exhale, again, squeezing those elbows in slightly towards that midline. Feel how it widens the upper back. Take your time. There's no rush. 3 more, please. Keep contracting the abdomen for greater support. And last one. And then take the knees wide, toes touch behind you, walk your hands forward, forehead to the mat. Come up onto your fingertips and dip your heart towards the floor. Draw the tips of the shoulder blades down your back. Feel that opening through the upper back area. Release the hands to the floor, and then soften the elbows, shoulders, head, and neck even deeper. Full breaths. As it comes in, remember to trace the breath with the mind all the way to the base. And as you exhale, feeling that warm breath, just releasing anything that needs to leave the body. Walking the hands over to the right side. Come into the lateral stretch here for a moment. Let your left hip soften down, bow the left rib cage. And then turn to look underneath your right armpit. So you're turning your cheek slightly. And then press your right hand into the floor and dip down a little lower through your left shoulder. So it's a very slight twist for the upper back. Keep the head relaxed. No extra pressure there in the neck. Good. And then release the forehead and the hand back to that lateral stretch. One more full breath here. And then come back to center. Find that neutral position again. Then walk your hands over to the left side and do the same thing on this side. So just first find the lateral stretch. Right hip softens, right rib cage bows. And then look underneath your left armpit, right cheek into the mat. And then left hand at a 90-degree angle, push down into the floor and just soften the right shoulder a little lower. So a slight twist for the upper back. One more here. And then release the head. Come back into the lateral stretch for a moment. And then back to neutral in the center line. One more breath here. Bringing your elbows down into the mat. Wrap your hands around the middle part of the arms. And you're going to interlace the fingers and press the forearms down, or spread the palms wide with the forearms parallel. Come back up into tabletop, tuck the toes, lift the sit bones up and back, and come into the dolphin variation of down dog or forearm down dog. So this is a really great preparation for inversion because it helps to build shoulder strength. And already, as you can see, your inverted head is just hanging upside down. So we've shifted that perspective. Bend one knee, press the other heel down, and feel that space open up in the back of the leg. And then switch and do the other side. And then if you want to pedal your feet back and forth a few times, just opening up the legs a little more through that repetition, breathe here. Now, this might be enough for you. You might want to just stay here, or you can wiggle your toes back a few inches for some dolphin push-ups. As you exhale, take your chest over your forearms, tailbone under, lower belly lifts, and then inhale, come back up. Exhale, chest over forearms, tailbone under, lower belly lifts. Inhale back up. And keep going with your breath here. To the best of your ability, keep tracing the breath in the spine. Two more here, or if you need to rest now, that's fine. Bring knees to floor, sit bones to heels. And then embryo is really nice. So if you bring your knees down, sit bones to heels, take your hands by your heels and just let your upper back really soften and round. So everything relaxes. No strain, no stress. Breathe into the back body. Feel the back of the ribs, back of the heart, kidneys all expanding with breath. One more. And then hands under the shoulders, sit tall on the heels, heels together for Vajrasana. And we're going to just take care of the neck a little bit here. So interlace the fingers behind your back into Yoga Mudra. Pull the knuckles down and away from you. Stretch out, open the heart. And then take the hands to the right side body. Pull your right elbow over. Tilt your right ear to your right shoulder and breathe here. So as this right elbow pulls in, it just deepens a little bit more of that bind. And then there's a tendency to pop the low ribs forward. So pull the low ribs towards the back body a little bit more and continue to surrender through that left shoulder and neck. Good. 2 more full breaths here. You can send the breath into the sensation. It'll help to intensify it on inhale and soften on exhale. Very nice. Now head comes back to neutral, and then take your hands behind you. Feel Yoga Mudra again. Pull the knuckles away. Open up that chest and heart. And then bring them to the other side, other waist, and then left elbow pulls back. Now we're going to tilt the left ear to the left shoulder. So you might find that one side's tighter than the other, just those inconsistencies we have all over the body. Remember to pull the low ribs towards the back body so we're not jutting those forward. Breathe here into the sensation. The longer you stay, the more the body relaxes as it acclimates to the sensation. One more full, complete breath right into the neck there. And then we'll bring the head back to neutral. Once again, take the hands behind you, interlacing the fingers, pull the knuckles away from you. And then just let the arms go. Let them rest in your lap for a moment. Feel all that prana rush down the arms. Tabletop position again. So this time we're moving into downward facing dog. On your inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift as you look up. On your exhale, tuck your toes and lift the sit bones up and away for downward facing dog. So very similar to the forearm down dog, except that in the legs we'll have our feet about hip distance apart, toes turned in slightly, heels out. Roll the inner thighs in and back. Allow the sit bones to spread, so really lift them up and away. And then in the upper body, roll your shoulder heads away from your ears. Hug the inner elbows toward one another. Press firmly through the web of the index and thumb. Make sure to release tension from the neck. So we have this tendency to want to grip and keep lifting the head. This comes from chronic contraction and stress and patterns that we've created of holding in our body. So see if you can imagine there's a weight attached to the crown of the head. Just let that sink down towards the floor. 2 more breaths here in down dog. Keep lifting those sit bones up.
Navel hugs the back body on exhalation. Last one. At the bottom of the exhale, then come onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look at the hands, and step forward to your fingertips. And just open your feet hip distance apart, standing forward fold. So a little micro bend in your knee. Take some pressure off the lower back. Hands can slide down the legs a few times from the glutes all the way to the Achilles. Just coaxing the back of the legs to open. And once again here too in our forward fold, notice that you're inverted. So the head is lower than the heart. And breathe into this. Have that soft gaze, soft perspective of just shifting things around a little bit. One more here down the back of the legs. And then we'll interlace our fingers into Yoga Mudra again. Take the knuckles up and away. Stretch out the shoulders. Breathe into it. If you want to do some flossing, pull the knuckles towards the hips and then pull it towards the crown of the head and just go back and forth a few times, loosening up that upper back. It's so tight on so many of us. Two more. And then just release. Hands are going to slide all the way down the back of the legs again. And then you can either keep your hands on your shins or hook your index middle thumb around your big toe. On your inhale, pull your chest away from your thighs. So lengthen the spine, straighten the legs to the best of your ability. And exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, relax the head and neck. Again, if you're using the shins, hands press into the shins to push the sternum away from the pubic bone. And then exhale, navel in, helps forward fold. 3 more with your breath, please. Inhaling, exhaling. So monkey, this dynamic monkey, just one of those foundational postures, so good as it teaches extension of the spine, how to activate those back muscles, as well as helps to deepen the forward bending in the spine and the hamstrings. Good. On the last one, we're going to come up halfway and we're going to stay and extend the arms out wide. So crown away from sit bones and see how flat you can imagine that your back is. Reach your fingers away from one another. You can imagine balancing a glass of water on the back. And just stay here for a few more breaths. Now, if you feel like you're sinking in your heels, come forward right to the center of the foot. Navel hugs the back body on exhalation. Imagine you can feel gravity sitting on your back, but yet you have the strength in the body to resist that pull. One more here. Then flip your palms up, press into the feet, reach the arms up and over the head. Full breath in. And exhale. Arms down by your side, and just take a moment to feel, just preparing ourselves for sun salutation. So we want that prana first to settle. Find our breath again, inhaling in through the nostrils to midbrain, or to third eye rather, down to base of spine, exhaling from base of spine back up to third eye, and out the nostrils. One more here. We'll come back to the front of our mats, preparing for sun salutations. Hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold, navel to spine. Step the right leg back, lower the knee, top of the foot. Inhale up for low lunge. And then exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Good. From this position, right leg forward, warrior one. Spin the back foot flat, heel to heel alignment. Inhale as you come up. And then exhale to plank position. Lower the knees for the first round. Squeeze the elbows tight into your side till your belly comes down. Chaturanga, inhale. Cobra, low ribs around the floor. And then exhale, navel up and back, downward facing dog. So the same leg's going to move. Right comes forward to the fingertips. Lower the left knee down. Inhale up for low lunge. And then exhale, step forward. We're going to modify this here with Yoga Mudra, so interlace your fingers.
And then bend and scoop, come through chair, all the way into standing extension, opening up that front body. Exhale, hands to heart. So left side, inhale, arms reach. Exhale, forward fold, navel to spine. Left leg goes back, lower knee, top of the foot. Inhale up, low lunge. And exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Left foot goes forward, spin the back foot flat, warrior one, inhale. And exhale to plank position. Now you can leave the knees lowered for this round still. Squeeze the elbows tight, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, down dog. Left leg moved, so left leg comes forward. Right knee goes down, inhale. Low lunge. Exhale, step the back foot forward. Interlace for yoga mudra. Bend and scoop, come through, full breath in. Exhale, hands to heart. Other side, inhale. Exhale. Right leg back, low lunge, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. Inhale as you rise. Exhale, plank position. This time leave the knees lifted, chaturanga. Inhale into cobra if you need to have the knees down, otherwise up dog. And exhale to downward facing dog, right foot forward. Low lunge, inhale. And exhale, step the back foot forward. Again, that modification, yoga mudra. Bend and scoop, come through, full breath in. Exhale, hands to heart. Left side, inhale. Exhale, fold. Left leg back, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Left leg forward, warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, plank position again. You can leave those knees lifted, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to down dog, left foot forward. Right knee down. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, standing forward fold with yoga mudra. Bend and scoop, full breath in. Exhale, hands to heart, and just one more for a total of 3. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Right leg back, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Right foot forward, warrior one. Heel to heel, inhale. Exhale, plank position, chaturanga your way. And then the right leg moves forward. Left knee down, inhale. Exhale, step forward, yoga mudra. Bend and scoop, come through. Exhale, heart. Left side, inhale. Exhale, fold. Left leg back, inhale. Exhale, down dog. Left leg forward, warrior one. Inhale. Exhale, plank position, vinyasa your way. And left leg forward, right knee down, low lunge. Exhale, step forward. Interlace. Bend and scoop, inhale, come through. Exhale, heart. Now just be here, hands at your heart or down by your side. Take a moment to regulate your breath again. So that's a constantly flowing sun salutation. Feel the heart beating, blood and prana moving through the body. One more breath. Very nice. So we'll come to the front of our mats. Big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Step your right foot back to a shorter distance.
So heel to heel alignment for pyramid pose. If you need padding, you can have the extra blocks on either side of the foot. Inhale, you're going to lift your chest away from your thigh. Exhale, fold over it a little more deeply. Inhale, lift away. Exhale, fold more deeply. One more. Inhale, lift away. Exhale, fold, and stay. 5 breaths. So squeeze the inner thighs towards the midline. Keep pressing ball of the foot away from heel. Head and neck is relaxed here. Just finding some space in the back of the leg as well as the spine. Breathe into any area of sensation you find. Notice again, body inverted, so soft gaze. Last one. Now, to counter gravity, once again, you're going to push into your feet. Squeeze your inner thighs and now lift your chest away from that front leg. Extend your arms out wide to start. Reach the crown of the head away from the sit bones. And find as much room in the vertebrae as you can. Again, feel like your back is flat. You could hold a glass of water up there. And keep the heart open. So watch the tendency to want to round the upper back. Send the heart forward, the hips back, and contract the abdomen towards the back body for stability. Neck is long. Breathe here. One more. Now sweep the arms forward and up as you rise. And then exhale, arms by your side, stand at the front of your mat, Samastiti. Just take a moment to notice, relax your shoulders, breathe here. One more. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Good. Inhale to monkey pose, flat back. And then exhale and fold. Step your left foot back, shorter stance. So 3.5 feet for pyramid. Again, hands can have some extra grounding if you need the blocks underneath each of them. Inhale, pull your chest away from your thighs. Exhale, melt over your front leg. Inhale, pull away. Exhale, melt. Inhale away. Exhale, melt, and now stay for 5 breaths, just softening into the back of the leg, the spine, into the flexion here. Again, keep a soft gaze. Notice, again, that inversion, head lower than the heart. Where are you holding the tension? Breathe into it. Each exhale takes the navel back to the spine and slightly up under the rib cage. Last one. Okay, now we're going to engage. So you're going to push into the feet. Lift your chest halfway up. Extend your arms out wide. Imagine someone pulling your fingers away from one another. Now push the ball of the front foot away from the back heel. Continue to hug the inner thighs towards the midline. Lengthen the neck so we're not gripping in the shoulders or upper back in any way. Heart is forward. Breathe here. All that pressure of gravity, strength to counter it, experiencing all of it. Whenever the tension wants to come in, send it down through the neck, out through the arms to the fingers and release it. Two more. Use your Ujjayi breath. Watch the pattern of breath come in and down and then back up and out. And then sweep the arms forward and up. As you come up to standing, exhale, arms by your side, and just rest. Rest for a moment. Relax all effort. Breathe into the diaphragm, one more breath. Good. Still here at the front of your mat. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold, navel to spine. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose, flat back. And now exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. And we'll chaturanga your way, so knees lowered or lifted, squeeze the elbows tight. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. Good. Take 3 breaths here in down dog. Now, having your feet hip distance apart, extend your right leg up in the air, but keep the toes pointing straight down. As you exhale, contract your abdomen, send your knee towards your armpit, and then inhale, extend the leg away again. Repeat that. Exhale, knee into chest, inhale away. 3 more. Nice and slow, use the musculature. On the last one, send the knee into the chest and then lunge that foot to the fingertips, spin the back foot flat for warrior 1. So heel to heel alignment, back toes angled, front knee bent, hips are squared forward as you inhale, come up. Now stabilize, push into the ball of the front foot, anchor to the outside edge of the back foot. Pull the right hip back, lift hip around to the best of your ability. Inhale, extend through the heart. Exhale, relax the shoulders down your back. Inhale, extend. Exhale, relax. Just one more. Inhale, heart opens. Exhale. Now we're going to sweep the hands behind for Yoga Mudra. Pull the knuckles down the back for just one moment. And then we're going to move into warrior, humble warrior. So on the inside of the right leg, let the upper body soften. Take the knuckles up and away from you, stretching out the shoulders, releasing the head and neck. Again, we feel this slight inversion, so getting more and more familiar with this position. Keep hugging the right hip back, bring the left hip around. There's going to be a tendency for that right hip to want to pop open. Do not gather tension in the neck. Steady your gaze. Good, one more here. Now slowly pull those knuckles back as you come back to warrior 1. Release the hands, and we're going to take them behind us, and you can either grab either elbow or you can come into reverse namaste. And then we're going to lunge forward into warrior 3. So pivot on the ball of your back foot, and 1, 2, 3, come into warrior 3. With the arms bound behind you, shoulders open. Doesn't matter if you're just at a slight angle, that's fine. Press the heel away from the crown of the head. Breathe deeply here. And then press back up to standing. Release the arms and just find mountain pose. Feel tall through your spine, anchored into the feet.
Okay, we'll do the other side. So step back to the front of your mat. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose. Hands on the shin or floor, but flat back. Exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank position. Again, chaturanga your way. Knees lowered or lifted. Inhale then into either cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Feel gravity pulling on the crown of the head. At the same time, lift the sit bones higher. Navel towards the back body on exhalation. Good. We're going to extend the left leg up in the air. Again, look at the toes. They should be pointing straight down as you exhale. Now bring your knee into your chest. Crunch the knee in so you're contracting the abdomen, and then inhale, extend the leg away again. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale away. Nice and slow, really using your strength. 3 more. Last one. Now bring the knee into the chest. We're going to lunge that foot forward to the fingertips. Spin the back foot flat. Heel to heel alignment. Warrior 1 as you come up. And adjust. Make sure that that front knee's bent. Left hip pulling back. Right hip coming around. Inhale, grow a little taller. Exhale, relax your shoulders down your back. Keep pressing into your back heel. Inhale, stretch through the front body. Remember, warrior 1 is a back bend. Exhale, relax. 1 more. Now with that nice open front body, interlace your fingers behind your back. Yoga mudra once again. We're going to pull the knuckles down the back, open up through the heart. And then lean forward on the inside of the left leg this time. Knuckles reach up. Head and neck is soft. Make sure that that left hip doesn't pop open. Keep it hugging the midline. And soft gaze, remember inversion. Seeing things from a different perspective. Much of the practice today, even though it's been forward bending, we're getting that understanding of what it's like to have the head lower than the heart. Last one here. Now we're going to pull those knuckles up, down the back, come back up, and then release the arms. And you have 2 choices. You can either interlace by grabbing onto either elbow behind your back, or you can come into reverse namaste. Hands in prayer at the back of the heart. You're pivoting on the ball of the back foot. Send your weight forward, lunging right into warrior 3, flex the heel of the foot. Crown reaches away. Breathe here. Yes, there's effort here, so find the places where you can be soft. And then slowly come up to standing. Take a moment, release the arms, samastiti. Feel some of that warmth. So we're going to use that in a few moments here. Breathe with the diaphragm. So allow the breath to go all the way down. So when we're using a lot of effort, we're in that mode of the stress response from the challenge, we have a tendency to breathe more into our chest. We want to send that breath down into the base of the spine and activate the diaphragm. And that part of our nervous system, that autonomic nervous system, we're meant to switch effortlessly between the two. That in times of stress, we want that SNS active. But as soon as that stress is over, we want to shift back to PNS. that parasympathetic nervous system, the calming, restorative part of our nervous system. The problem is that so many of us have our knob jammed in the SNS, the stress response. We don't take the time to balance it out or teach our body or remind our body what that PNS response is all about. Last breath here. Okay. So at the front of your mat, big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. You're going to inhale, the arms reach up. And then exhale, sink into chair. Now, we're going to move into the twist. So left elbow to the right thigh. Make a fist with your bottom hand, cup with your top, and rotate your navel to the right. Lower your hips down so that your chest is long. So as you feel the hips getting lower, there's actually more room in the vertebrae to twist. Breathe deeply here. Keep wringing out the spine. We've done a lot of work in that spine today, so this is really great for releasing any tension that might have built up. And then we're going to do this kind of tricky transition. So you can look down at the floor, and then the leg that doesn't have the elbow on it, you're going to step that back into a high lunge. And then you're going to pivot on the balls of both feet, coming right into a wide foot spreading posture. Stay in the twist there as you do that. Breathe deeply here. Keep unwinding the spine. And then gently release and come into wide foot spreading posture. Good, so fingertips line up with your toes. Toes are in slightly, heels out, push to the outside edges of the feet. And then see if you can widen your stance enough to get the crown of the head to touch the floor. Now, if that's really far away from you, then take the block and put it underneath your head. Because what we want to do now is get that stimulation at the top of the head, the crown, which feels like a headstand. So we're getting the beginning stages of a headstand. In fact, this is a really fantastic prep for that. Now you can continue to stay here with that stimulation at the crown, or if you're comfortable doing headstand, you're going to wrap your hands around the middle part of your arms, interlace your fingers, take your head into that cup of the hands, and then press down and lift up into headstand. So legs wide, they come together, and breathe here. Now in headstand, you want to make sure there's not too much pressure on the head, so you're pushing down through those forearms, creating space in the shoulders. If you can't easily create that space in the shoulders, ideally even taking the head off the floor at any moment of your will, then it's better to stay in the other position where there's not too much body pressure on the crown of the head. Now breathe here. No matter which position you're in, you're either lifting the hips or you're lifting through the toes. Slow, deep breaths. Can you trace the breath with the mind? Inverting the body, changing perspective. Even relieving the organs from that constant pull of gravity. Just a few more breaths.
Now to come out, open the legs wide if you were in headstand. Slowly come back to foot spreading posture. Line the fingertips up with the toes and gently place the head on the floor. Take a moment there just to find your grounding. And then fingertips in a finger stand, lift your chest away and flatten out your spine for a moment since we were down for so long, no matter which position you were in, just giving the blood a chance to level out. And then heel toe your feet in so the stance is not quite so wide. Bring your hands to your hips and scoop your heart up to 3/4 of the way. Stop there. Breathe. Again, just kind of feeling blood level out. And then when you feel ready, coming the rest of the way up. And you can heel toe your feet in the rest of the way and stand for a moment in Samastiti and just observe. Again, neck is long, spine feels extended. So at the front of your mats, we'll do the sequence again, a little different on the second posture. Big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, sink into chair. And again, we're going to move into the twist. So this time, right elbow goes to left thigh, fist with the bottom hand, cup with the top, and rotate the navel to the left. So again, try to lower the hips as much as you can, lifting the chest away from the thigh. Make sure that the right knee doesn't pop in front of the left, so try to keep the knees level. Squeeze the midline. So as you can imagine, hugging a block between your legs. Each exhale, pull the navel in, rotate deeper to the left. One more here. Now remember that tricky transition. We're going to look down at the floor. You're going to take the leg that doesn't have the pressure on it, step it back into high lunge first, and then rotate the feet and come into wide foot spreading posture, still in the twist. So the elbow stays on top of that leg. And then see if you can let go and deepen the twist just a little bit more in this new position. Unwinding that spine. And then surrender back into wide foot spreading posture again. Good, and then this time we're just going to come up, hands under the shoulders, toes out, heels in. So we're going to go into sumo, nice wide stance. Put your forearms on top of your thighs and then press the forearms towards the knees so you're spreading open the inner groin. And then just breathe here. Allowing all the work of the legs just to soften any tension that's there. Keep pressing the elbows towards the knees. Good, and then come back up. We're going to heel toe the feet in even more. Then toes out, heels in, and actually come into that wide squat. Elbows on the insides of the knees, hands in prayer at the heart. And if you'd like, now close your eyes. And just feel balanced, grounded, stable. If this is uncomfortable for the knees in any way, you can certainly place a block underneath your hips. And just rest here. One more. And then take your hands behind you and extend your legs out in front of you and come into Dandasana, staff pose. So you're going to internally rotate your thighs in and down. Flex your feet, engage your legs, hands beside the hips, and press down into the palms as much as you can. As you anchor into the earth, lift through the crown of the head. So get tall. So as much as this is an active pose, it's also a pose to sort of reset. It's symmetrical. Feel the extension of your spine.
2 more breaths. Good, and then just gently release. So we're gonna prepare for some shoulder stands. So if you happen to have a blanket nearby, that would be great. I'd like to just start first though with bridge pose, for this is the first option. So we're gonna come onto our back, have a block and a blanket handy nearby. Have your feet flat, knees bent, arms down by your side. So first option is really just to move in and out of bridge dynamically. Pressing into the feet, inhale, roll up through the spine, and feel how there's some flexion there that goes into the neck. And then exhale, navel to spine, lengthen the tailbone towards the heels as you come down. Repeat that again. Inhale, roll up through the spine. Flexion there for the neck as the chin meets the sternal notch. And exhale, slowly come back down. Good. 3 more like that, please. Last one. Now, we're going to move into shoulder stand here in a moment, but I want to give options. So option number 1, and I'll demonstrate if you need to see it, is going to just be bridge pose. So you can keep the arms by your side, rise up into bridge, and then hold and sustain that. Watch the tendency for the knees to flare. But you can also take your shoulders underneath you and once again interlace for Yoga Mudra. So we definitely have the shoulder space to do that today, and you can just stay in that position. This is very much similar in the upper back to shoulder stand without the body weight pressure on the neck. Otherwise, your option is to come into shoulder stand, and I like to use a blanket. It's not always necessary, but it does protect the neck a little bit. So if you have a folded blanket, you want the folded part facing the top of your mat so that you don't have any inconsistency. And then you're going to flip the mat over, and that's going to provide a little bit of sticky underneath your elbows so that you hold the body in place a little bit better. And then you're going to let your body come down about an inch above inch below the rim of the mat, so you can kind of feel that with your fingertips and test it out. But the idea is that when you roll up into shoulder stand, you want to have the shoulders on the mat still, but the head and neck completely free of the mat. So on your next inhale, you'll roll up into a modified plow, legs overhead, take your elbows underneath you, hands on the low back, and then slowly take the legs up in the air. So the tighter the shoulders, or the tighter the elbows rather, the more support we have in the shoulder. And once you're in this position, you've got all this body weight on your neck, you're not going to move your neck. So you never want to move the neck. You want to keep the head straight. And then work to get the legs very straight. So instead of being at an angle, which happens a lot when people do shoulder stand, you want to keep the body like a pencil. Now free up the neck. Don't feel strain or stress there. There's flexion, but not strain and stress. So it doesn't matter which position you want to be in. Either one, bridge pose or shoulder stand, is fine. If bridge becomes too much to sustain, as it's more efforting, you can always slip the block underneath your sacrum. Now, calm the mind. So we are stretching the back of the neck, which tends to relate to that PNS, that calming part of our nervous system. So as long as we don't over-effort, we can feel a sense of peace here. Just a few more breaths. Remember to trace the breath with the mind. Same pattern even though we're inverted. All the way to the base, and from the base all the way back up. And then when you're ready to come out, we're going to slowly, if you're in shoulder stand, take the legs into plow for a moment. Tuck the toes underneath you. You can either interlace your fingers behind your back and plow, or wrap your arms around the legs. And then we're going to slowly roll down. So if the hands are interlaced, place the palms flat. If you're holding the legs, hug the legs towards the body as you roll down. Now that blanket, if it's there, will have a little bit of a lip. So just be mindful of that. And if you're in bridge pose, you can just slowly release the block if it was there, release the shoulders, and then one vertebrae at a time, come down. And when we all get to the bottom and the spine is supported, just wrap the hands around the knees and take a moment to completely rest. No effort here, just softness. Full breaths. Notice the belly breathing into the thighs. Now, I don't always bring inversions into class because it's a lot of work to counterpose and to prepare. So we're going to have to roll right onto our bellies here. So curl to your right, move the blanket out from underneath you and come onto your tummy. So to take care of the neck after that deep flexion of shoulder stand, we're going to move in and out of dynamic cobra. So fingertips lined up with the tops of the shoulders. Keep the neck neutral, forehead to the mat, tops of the feet ground about 4 to 6 inches apart. On your inhale, just halfway up. So feel that the low ribs are on the floor. Exhale and come down. Keep the forehead neutral. Inhale, come up. Exhale down. Keep going with your breath. Inhale, exhale. Constant flow of breath. Trace that pattern. So this just activates the muscles in the back of the neck. One more. Now, forehead to the mat, hands to the sides. We're going to move into a little bit of Shalabhasana variation. So right arm's going to come forward. Lift your chest and your left leg off the floor. Make your hand salute your forehead. And then push your right hand away. Turn your right cheek into the mat and bring the arm and leg down. Repeat that on the other side. So left arm comes forward in a salute. Right leg lifts. Head and neck are lifted. And then exhale, you're pushing that hand away. Cheek comes down, leg comes down, everything rests. Good. Right side again. Inhale. So this using of opposite sides of the body is very good for the brain. Good. 2 more on one on each side.
And so we'll just do this last one with the left arm, right leg. And then rest completely. So cheek can now turn to one side if you prefer, or you can keep the neck neutral, whatever is better for you. Breathe into the back body, especially the kidneys, belly. And turn your cheek to the other side. And then hands under the shoulders, press yourself tall to sitting on your heels again. So Vajrasana. And just take a moment here to rest. Hands in the lap. If you'd like, Dhyana Mudra, left hand under the belly, right hand on top, thumbs touch. And that's opposite for men. And just feel the quality of the mind. One more breath here. Good, hips to the right. We're going to move into a twist. Extend your legs forward. And then left leg is going to go behind you. And then if you can, take the outside of the right foot into the crease of the left thigh. Now, if that's possible, we're going to inhale the left arm up and then take that hand across the body and rotate the navel to the right. So right hand back behind you, fingers in a finger stand. Twist the navel to the right in an open twist here. So modified Bharadvajrasana. Keep rotating. On the inhale, you get taller, and on the exhale, you squeeze a little deeper. One more breath here. And then gently release, come back to neutral, and switch. So we'll take the right foot behind you, just like Virasana, so heel to the hip. And then the left foot into half lotus. If not, inner thigh. Inhale the right arm up, and then you're just going to bind the foot to the leg, left hand behind you, and rotate. Inhale taller. And exhale, squeeze and wring out. And then gently unwind from here, come back to neutral. And then we're moving into Baddha Konasana, butterfly or bound angle. So soles of the feet come together. Heels as close to the hips as possible. And then scoot your hips forward. And you can either hook the index middle thumb around your big toe or wrap your hands around your feet. Pull your heart forward through your shoulders, and we're going to move into the forward fold from here. So get as much extension in the spine as you can. Crown of the head lifted, chin in, back of the neck long.
And now exhale, try to keep that head, neck, torso, tailbone in a straight line as you lean forward. Stay extended for a few more breaths here in this slight flexion. And if the elbows happen to touch the calves, you can gently push into them. Sternum away from pubic bone. Send the shoulder blades down your back. Breathing all the way into the pelvic floor. One more full breath. And then lean back as you inhale. Bring your feet into a wide diamond. And now we're just going to completely forward fold. So head and neck just rest on the feet or hangs midway. That's fine. And just soften. Now it's okay here to have a little rounding of that upper back. We're just really letting go. Breathe into any area of sensation you find. Last breath here. And then slowly come up. Take your time. You can just walk your hands back. Sit with a tall spine. Find extension. And then we'll make our way onto the floor. So if you want to put socks and sweaters back on, you want your body temperature to cool down slowly. Especially if you're in a cooler room. Blankets, if you have them, eye pillows are great, whatever you can do. And then your legs are going to be a little wider than hip distance apart. Feet just fall open. Arms are down by your sides, palms face open. And you want to tuck those shoulder blades underneath you so that the heart is open. And then just breathe here. Take an inhale in through the nose and a long sigh through the mouth. And you can do that 2 more times if you'd like. And then really feel the belly soften back towards the spine. No more effort to control the breath. Just completely surrender. Body supported by earth. So very slowly begin to deepen your breath. And as the breath comes in, just start to move the fingers and the toes. Take your time to ease yourself back to this time and space. And gently bring the knees back into the chest and give them a little hug. And you can curl over onto your right side into fetal. Prop your head up with your hand or your arms so that you have a pillow for your neck. Let the spine return to neutral. And placing the hand deeply into the earth, slowly come up. Head and neck is going to be the last thing to lift. And then find a comfortable seated position. And if you'd like, you can prop your sit bones up with a bolster, or you can go back into that Virasana or Vajrasana pose that we started the practice with. So whatever's most comfortable for you. And then sit with a tall spine, relaxed body. So with the sit bones anchored and lifting through the crown of the head, feel the space you've created in the spine. And once again, we'll return to the breathing that we started. So inhaling in through the nostrils to the third eye rather, and down to the base of the spine. And then exhale from the base of the spine to the third eye, and then back out the nostrils. Feel the cool air as it comes in on inhalation, and the warm air as it goes out. Now, once you establish a rhythm, if you'd like, bring in a soft pause at the top of the inhale where you hold your awareness in the base of the spine. And soft pause at the bottom of exhalation as you hold your awareness just outside of the nostrils, about 6 inches or so outside of the nostrils. And continue that, please. Now start to make those pauses slightly longer holds. And count the length of the hold so it's equal on inhalation and the hold of exhalation. And just one more here. And you'll end by exhaling and having a soft pause, and then see how long you can sustain that pause without strain. Of course, when you need to breathe in, just a gentle breath. Continuing to find longer and longer spaces of no breath. Keep letting go. The more you relax, the longer the pauses will be without effort. And then just release. And lower your chin to your chest. Bring your hands to your heart, thumbs touching the sternum. Hands in prayer, go back to the intention we set at the beginning of the practice. We can gain much of a shift in our perspective simply by quieting the mind. For it's within the mind that these patterns of thought, memory, identity continue to play out, telling us the same story again and again and again, creating the same patterns in the body, the same choices and behaviors. So when we quiet the mind in our practice and meditation, we gain access to new perspective. So let's seal this practice today with the chant of Om 3 times, followed by Om Shanti 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 for peace, peace, peace. Deep inhale. And long exhale. Another deep inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for practice today. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to go to the description below, there's a link to my Patreon account, which I'd greatly appreciate any donation you'd like to offer for class. Thank you so much.